Welcome to your ticket to the Big Thicket. Come along. Come join my family as we give a tour of Village Creek State Park in the piney woods of eastern Texas. We're going to explore the trails. I'm going to show you around the park. We're also going to visit a local eatery that is pet friendly, as well as one of our favorite bakeries in Beaumont. So come along. We'll let you know what we thought of the park, and we'll see you soon. Hazel gets so excited when I come towards her with her bed. That's her little safe space. She knows that we are packing and getting ready to go camping, so she wants to make sure that I don't forget her and that I put her with all my luggage that I put in my recliner to take with me. And she's like a little kid before bedtime, 10 minutes into a road trip, and she decides she's thirsty. Please bear with us. This was our first time using our new dash cam. It's just a $30 cheap camera, but it gets the job done. And I have since figured out that there is a way to aim the camera where it's not directly on the hood of our truck. But I just wanted to let you know that when you're trying to go to this state park, if your directions are taking you through a residential neighborhood, you are not lost. That's how you get to this park, and it's so small. It's just tucked away at the back of a little neighborhood. So you're going to just go through and you'll see houses on both sides of you, and then all of a sudden you will eventually end up at the state park entrance. We've stayed at this park once before, so we know the layout. We decided to go ahead and pull in and just go ahead and give you a driving tour of the park. So we just went through the entrance. Over here on the right, you will see the public restrooms, which are some of the nicest restrooms I've seen in a state park. Over to your left is the dump station, and we just passed the loop for the where the RVs go. So we're going to go ahead and drive to the back of the park. There will be this narrow bridge here, so you want to make sure if somebody is coming from the other direction that y'all yield to each other. Although this area is known as the gateway to the Big Thicket of East Texas, you will see areas where there are no trees. There was a drilling rig fire, I believe back in 2011, that caused a massive wildfire in the area and burned a lot of trees down. Also, hurricanes, floods, drought have all impacted the area. You can see over to the right, they're planting new trees. They've got some tall trees closer to the water, but you see this open area over here on the right. It's been greatly impacted. I believe that Hurricane Rita and Ike damaged about 640 of the park's 1,090 acres. So the park lost 30 to 80% of the trees in some area, but it's still a gorgeous park. I highly recommend it. It is in Lumberton, which is about 10 miles north of Beaumont off of I-10. Now we are approaching the end of the park that you can get to by car. There is a lot of walking trails back here. There is some primitive camping. There's a canoe launch straight ahead. I'll show you when we do a walking tour here shortly. Off to the left is a little playground, a little picnic pavilion so you can gather with family and friends and have cookouts. And we are just going to circle and do this loop here. Then we're going to go ahead and head to the campsite. There is going to be a cabin tucked away on the right up here in a moment, but we are going to show you that on foot when we're walking around. Village Creek State Park. Sometimes this is my memory board. I have to look at this to see if I've been here before. We are staying at campsite 16, and as you can see, the spaces are very close together, but Corey deliberately picked a spot that did not have any people booked on either side of us, so that gives us a little bit of breathing room. But as you can see, if we did have somebody right here, it would be awfully close together. I don't know if y'all can hear our neighbor's dogs barking. We don't typically sit at the picnic table. We have our camping chairs, so we pulled the RV a little further back since we didn't really need that space. We wanted to allow more space to park our truck. But once you're behind the campsite, you've got all this area here if you want to put up a hammock or something. As you can see, this is really uneven, so bring your chalks, your blocks. Our stairs, I guess, are pretty stable at the moment. You also want to make sure that you pay attention to where you're walking. Like right here, the ground is somewhat even, but then you come over here and it's quite the drop off. So I am standing in site number 18. As you can see, we're up there. This is site number 18, which is right next to us, but just to show you how stacked these campsites are and how uneven the ground is, just wanted to show you right here, that's quite the drop-off if you've got children or pets that are trying to walk out in the evening when it's really dark outside. And here is the restroom. Of course, I'm going to go in there and make sure nobody's in there first. Got a couple of toilets. Those are some nice showers. I love how they have a separate place so your stuff doesn't get wet. Ooh, yeah. This is a nice one.
So here's the men's restroom. I've already pre-scoped it out. Nobody's in here. So, and it is really warm in here. Nice and clean. Yeah, perfect. And this is one of the cleaner restrooms I've ever been in. Shower stalls are real nice and big. Dang. Wow, that's huge. Like I said, super clean, super nice.
For dinner, we decided to go eat at Madisons in Beaumont. From the outside, you wouldn't know that it's got a really, really cool dog area in the back. You have to walk through the restaurant to get back there, but once you're in the back, it's just so cool. There's so many dogs back there and so many things for them to do, and they can run around and play. It feels kind of awkward walking through the restaurant with your dog, but everybody does it. And of course, everybody had to stop and say hi to Hazel. And there was this cute little black dog right there that had the hots for her. He could not keep his eyes off of her. He was just checking her out the whole time. It was like total puppy love. I'm having to do a voiceover for the rest of our time there. There was a DJ. They were doing a pub crawl at the time. The music was just blaring. We couldn't even hear ourselves, and we didn't want to get a copyright strike for all the music that was being played in the background. So here we are just waiting to get served. We ended up having to go to the bar ourselves to get a menu, which was different than the last time we were there. But let me show you the menu real quick. You can obviously pause it if you need to. I'm trying to go a little bit slow. Last time I was here, I got the Monte Cristo, and it was amazing. But I decided to try something different this time. So I got the pasta and Corey got I believe it's called a boudin, or no, it's a Cajun charcuterie board, and Olivia just got her basic cheese fries. This is my second time to go to Madisons, and although I had fun the first 10 or 15 minutes in there this time, it's a different atmosphere. I think they're having some kind of a Jingle Bell pub crawl or something. There's people there in their PJs, and I'm all for getting loud, having fun, loud music, but I'm not trying to be an old curmudgeon, but I couldn't even hear myself talking to Corey or to Olivia. I just had to come out to the car. In fact, I might be yelling now. Sorry, I can't really hear, but it's not so much I mind the loud music, but they're playing like raunchy stuff like you would hear at a club. It's just kind of, you know, the Nicki Minaj kind of vibe. My food was cold. I sent it back. It took 30 minutes to bring it back out. By that point, I lost my appetite. Time to get some coffee at Rayo's Bakery. Every time we travel, we like to hit up a new coffee spot. We have actually been here once before when we came camping at this time last year, and we were so eager to go back. We really enjoyed their pumpkin pie latte last year, but unfortunately they were out of all their holiday flavors for whatever reason. So we just got something else, and then we decided to take a look around at all the things that they have for sale and go look at the bakery. So let me show you what they've got. Rayo's has a nice selection of baked goods. They have bigger cakes for parties, and then they have individual servings of things. The only thing is, I wish they would label their trays. It's difficult to know what everything is. Some of the things are self-explanatory, but then there's things that you can't tell what they are by looking at them. And sometimes if there's a long line, it gets a little bit overwhelming saying, what's this? What's this? But they do have a menu there that you can look at and choose from that. Okay, I'm going to give you a walking tour of the campsites. There are 25, and yesterday would have been a great day to film because the park was virtually empty. Then we went on a walk for about an hour, came back, and they were halfway full. I guess there's some people that are just passing through and needed a place to crash for the night. So I don't want to be creepy and be filming people. I'll do my best to just show you what each site looks like. So if you plan on staying here in the future, you might have an idea which one you want to book. We are starting out here at the dump station. And like Corey said, this is one of the cleanest dump stations that we've ever seen. We're going to start with the even numbers first, and we're going to start in descending order. Over here, we have site number 22, site number 20, here is site number 18. Here is us. We are site number 16. We back up to a little bit of forest, and a lot of people do cut through to go to the restrooms over there. Now, this is site 14. Plenty of trees in the back of the site, but not really any privacy along the side if you've got people staying next to you. site number 12. We skipped sites 10 and 8 because there are people staying there.
8 and 10, I think are very close together.
Oh, they're very close together. I don't know, I guess that's supposed to be a little creek down there. Looks a little dried up. 4 looks like a good place to stay. You got some privacy all around you, so your closest neighbor would be over there. But you are on a corner by the entrance, so you might get a lot of traffic going through this area. Of course, this is a quiet, small park, so there's not going to be that much traffic. Here is site number 2. I think this is a nice site with a lot of shade between you and your neighbor, but then you are right here on the road. So that little portable looking building is the nature center, and then this is where the park host stays. And then here is site 1, which this looks like a good site to me as well. But look, it looks like there's a trail that goes back there. I like this one. If you don't mind being next to the park host, I don't have a problem with that, but look at all the space. So this is site number 3. See, I like when they have trees that literally build a wall between you and your neighbor. That would be my preference. So yeah, 3 looks like a good site. I can't tell if sites number 5 and 7 just have no privacy in between the 2 sites, or if this is one of those family camping sites where it's designed to have that middle area where you can all congregate. If that's the case, then this might be the site for you. One thing I forgot to mention about site number 6 is you need a small trailer to stay here. Okay, we skipped sites 9 and 11 because people are staying there, but this is site 13.
These are long sites.
Yeah, this is site number 15, and you can park longer rigs here. There's definitely more space. Yeah, but you are close, and see how there's no real privacy between those 2 sites. Up here is site number 17. This looks like this could be a good one. It's got trees that line the entire length of the site, but it's got a fence back there, so if you've got a dog or children, they can't really go too far past that fence. But lots of shade, lots of privacy. Okay, Corey just informed me that this is movable. What is it, a pool noodle?
I don't know, it's not concrete.
Oh no, that's strange. I don't know why that's there.
I kind of like this spot.
You do? Alright, so this is site number 19. Again, these are things I like, where there is a wall of trees giving you some privacy between you and your neighbor because the sites are so close. I'm not going to really get up on the sites 21, 23, and 25 because they all do appear to be occupied. I'm just kind of showing you the layout from afar. 25 is on the other side of that Class C, and that is right by the dump station. If that does not bother you, then that's something to consider. I didn't get a chance to film inside the nature center, but it's very cool in there. I got a little sidetracked talking to the park ranger. I was asking his advice on which trail we should do because we were only here for one more night, and he really was very helpful. Now we are at the canoe launch area. So we parked our car, or you can walk here. We've walked here before, but if you'll remember earlier in the video when we were doing the driving tour, this is the very end of the park that you're able to drive to, and then you got to get out and just start walking all the various trails. But we just wanted to show you how close the water was. You can park and then just go take a look at the water. It's very pretty. So now we are approaching that cabin that we drove by earlier, and I just wanted to show you it's got a lovely screen porch. This is available for rent for family gatherings, and we were unable to look inside. All the doors were locked, although this wasn't occupied, or I wouldn't be walking around like this. But you can have a straight shot to the water directly behind. And I did go up here and try to look in the window, but the reflection was to where you couldn't see. But it was very cute and cozy inside. So I'm just going to go catch up with Corey and Hazel and just show you how close the water is. Next, we're going to look at the gazebo and the picnic area, as well as the little park. It's got a nice little covered area with a bunch of picnic tables, and you can sit there and have your little cookout. There's some barbecue grills and look over the water. And on the other side is the playground, so you can keep an eye on the children. We decided to go for a walk on one of the many trails here. So I guess we'll take a moment and talk to you about the things we do like and didn't care for with Village Creek State Park. Corey, what are the pros and cons for you?
I like that it's quiet, small. If you have a state parks pass membership, I think it's $12 a night, so that's probably the cheapest one around. Which none of them are that expensive anyway, but I really like the trails here. I think the trails are just laid out real good, and they're flat, so I mean, you're not going to hike up a mountain or anything, but the trails are nice and wide, and they're cleared out really well. So that's a pretty nice part of it, and just the peacefulness. The sites are a lot closer than other state parks, but as long as you avoid a few of them, like 8 and 10, I think are like really close, and then the rest of them, they're okay. But you could tell a lot of people just pass through here on 1 or 2 night stays and head out somewhere else. So.
Agree. That's what I was going to say. One of the pros for me is that it's about an hour and a half from our home. If you wanted to do a day trip to Lake Charles, we're very close to the Louisiana border, about an hour away. We like a lot of the dog-friendly places in the area. Hazel goes with us every time we go camping. There's some different pubs and restaurants where you can take your dog. And like Corey, I will say I think you can't beat the price. Yeah, the sites are kind of close together, but to me it's not as much about the sites being close together, but the people. Like the first night we stayed here, there were some people in a tent nearby that were a little bit noisy during the hours that you're supposed to kind of keep your voice down. You are close to a train track, maybe a mile away. Some people that doesn't bother. You know, it doesn't really bother me. I'm a light sleeper, but the sound of a train is okay. I thought the trails here were a lot easier on my knee. All right, well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. We'll see you next time. The cool thing about being compacted like this is you can see the dump station from here. You can see if there's a line or if the coast is clear. You ready to go bye-bye?